if there's one thing I've learned in the last couple years or so of YouTube, is that animators sometimes don't know how to talk about stuff. Steve Cutts is a perfect example. Steve Cutts has kind of been getting popular for his animations and like how they talk about, oh, society is crumbling, or people can be awful, or times will never change and stuff. Most people give a lot of his films a lot of criticism, mostly because they don't execute these things well at all. And yeah, I agree with them. So I'm going to talk about a couple of his films and maybe say why he sucks. First, let's talk about a short film called Man. It's Steve Cutts' most popular video. Oh yeah, and before I actually get started, if you like these videos, or if you're a fan of Steve Cutts' work, then I'm just letting you know that this is my opinion, but I do know a lot of people who don't like his work either, so I'm just agreeing with them as well. So Steve Cutts' short film Man, I think he made it about 10 years ago, is just kind of dumb. It's kind of just man is just walking around killing all these animals and stuff. And we slowly but surely see the evolution of time. It starts with all the mountains and trees, and then it kind of goes to the boat and the sea, and then it eventually transitions to the city, where we see him invent all these things. And then at the very end of the video, we see that he's on top of a massive pile of garbage, and he's basically destroyed his own city. And the end of the video is just him being killed by some aliens. So, the last human being on Earth is dead now. A lot of people don't like this video just because, or even most of Steve Cutts' videos, because the message just doesn't make sense at certain points. See, the main thing with Steve Cutts' videos is that all of them, or at least most of them, have a sort of message with society and stuff. That societies are failing and the systems are crumbling and whatever. And it's just kind of okay, what are the good things about society? This short film just makes me feel very sad because of how bleak it is. There's nothing really that good about it, and really it's just kind of bleak. We basically just watched the first human in history, essentially, just build an entire world and all these mechanical things, and then him basically destroy it all and then getting killed by aliens at the end. Honestly, it just doesn't make sense. The message that I took away was that, or at least I think this is the message, that humans are always going to be bad or something, or the end of the world is inevitable or something. I don't know. It's just a really bleak video. And it feels like it's a video that teachers would show in a classroom. Okay, so I'm going to show you a short film that has a very deep meaning, and I want you to see if you figure out. No, that's not what it is. It's just a stupid fucking video with no purpose other than to just either annoy people or to just make a fake message. The video is just 3.5 minutes of absolute nonsense. The next one I want to talk about is a film called Happiness. So this film is, well, obviously it looks different from the picture. A lot of Steve Cutts' films have very different animation styles, and I can give him that. The animation is quite good in some of them. While Man was, well, it felt like it was trying to mock society and how people will always be bad or something, this one is kind of mocking, well, how to be happy, and alcohol abuse and drugs and medicine. And yeah, the civilization is in the form of rats, which I feel like Steve Cutts probably had a eureka moment and said, oh, the rats could be they're in a cage, and the cage the society that we're all in. I feel like that's what Steve Cutts' brain was going through when he made these videos. Because he made one little metaphor in his video, that automatically meant that they were really deep and smart. No, that just makes them seem more stupid. In all fairness, I do kind of like Happiness, like the look of it. Steve Cuts' animations I never really liked, to be honest, but like this is just ones I have a pure hatred for. Man was kind of decent, I guess, but like it looked terrible, especially with the really simplistic style. This one actually has a really good visual style, but the message is just terrible. The message I took away from this one is that you cannot be happy in the world unless you have like luxurious cars and everything and like money and take drugs and have alcohol. It's like it has worse execution. It's just like really, it's just not nice to look at. It's also another really bleak one where like there's like no light at the end. Like there's no light at the end of the tunnel at all. It's just kind of bleak and darkness. It's just complete nonsense most of the time. Steve like tries to put in these like really deep moments and like metaphors for all his videos, and like half of them don't make sense. Like this one, I feel like he's trying to make it that we're all rats in a massive cage and we're like wandering to find ourselves and find ourselves to be happy. But like when he's doing it with like such garbage execution and showing it with like honestly pretty similarly garbage visuals, it just doesn't make it any better. Honestly, when I watch this video, I just feel really unhappy. Honestly, the only thing that I can really say about this video that's good is that the visuals are good, and that kind of Disney looking scene was also good, I guess, but that was kind of it. Just in case I get copyrighted or anything, I'm not going to show any like actual moments from his videos. I'm just going to show either the thumbnail or just a picture from it. I'm sorry if you wanted to see the Disney scene. You can watch Steve Cuts' channel and the video and stuff if you want. But yeah, Happiness is just not a really happy short film. At least with Man, I could kind of see what it's trying to say. Or at least with Man, the execution was a tiny bit better. Here it's just worse. But that's not even the worst one yet. We're about to get into probably the most infamous one that he's made, or at least one of the most infamous. Okay, where do I even start with this one? Are You Lost in the World Like Me? A music video and also an animation uploaded somewhere else. This video fucking sucks. So, this video's been getting a lot of popularity, or like a lot of hate on Twitter because, well, it's just a terrible video. Where do I even begin with this one? So what most people think the video is trying to say is that the systems in society are like failing and stuff, whatever else, because of phones, or at least like we're glued to the screens, which I guess kind of is a problem, but like the way Steve represents it makes it seem like everyone's just a mindless zombie. And then when someone actually does do something, like, without their thoughts being on their phone, or their face glued to their phone, it's automatically bad. It's not even like in the other two I mentioned earlier, where, like, he's, like, trying to say something about, like, society, or, like, time evolution or whatever. This one, he's just saying people suck, people are bad, phone is bad, and everything else. So the main character just kind of looks like, I don't know, like a kind of tiny, more like a maybe 2 or 3 year old Stewie Griffin with less hair. And it's basically just him wandering around. And most people think, oh, this is just a cute little kid trying to get people's attention so they can stop being glued onto the phone. No, this kid is just a really rude kid. There's one scene where a lady is being, like, harassed on a train, and the kid is, like, imagining he's beating him up, and then he gets praise. He's only thinking about doing that, not because, like, he wants to save the girl, because he's thinking about the girl's safety. He's just doing it because he wants to get praise. Throughout the whole video, he's, like, trying to get people's attention, but they're all glued to their phones. So necessarily, the video's not even about phone addiction. It's just kind of about him wanting attention. Which, would be fine if it was executed well. The song itself is fine, I guess. The lyrics are okay. I like the way it sounds, but the video itself is just, We see a lot of really weird imagery and some stuff that I would not have liked to see. And it's just like 3 minutes of just utter disgustingness. There's just a lot of really bad stuff happening in the video, and I feel like Steve misses the point almost every time he does a video. This video, there's scenes of people being harassed and kids being beaten up and stuff, or dogs being kicked and animal cruelty. But that's not a problem with the phones. It's it's trying to balance out the message of the kid wanting attention and the phone thing. So basically what the video's saying at one point is that officers and police people will act cruelly. They'll beat people up for basically no reason, and people will just mindlessly film it, saying that's a bad thing. No, they're setting up that the bad thing is that people are recording it with the phones. The bad thing is that, the police officers are beating the guy up. And that's actually happened, a lot of times in our society. But, Steve is trying to focus on the phone thing. And, again, the little kid is just really unlikable. All he wants is just, attention. But because people are on the phones, he doesn't get any attention, so he's just wandering around, mindlessly. And then we get probably one of the most infamous parts where a girl is doing a dance or whatever, probably for TikTok or something. And then, people start laughing at her all over the internet, and so, basically everyone crowds around her house, or, a building, and she's at the very top, and she commits suicide. So basically what Steve was saying throughout the whole video is that if people are on their phones criticizing people, you'll be driven to suicide? Genuinely, I'm really confused at what the message is in this video. Is it supposed to be that the phones are bad, or the people bad, or is it just everything's bad? Is the kid bad? I think the kid's the real villain, honestly. This video it's not even man makes me sad. Happiness makes me unhappy. But this video makes me angry. It's not even man where it makes me feel really sad and makes me feel kind of just really, really upset that someone made this video. It's actually making me angry that someone made the video. The animation isn't even half good. I mean, it probably would have took some time to draw the characters, but the animation looks absolutely terrible. That's a thing that I would say about most of Steve's animations anyway, but I don't know, this one just looks really bad. Well, that's not even the end of the video yet. We've still got one more to talk about, and it's his most recent video actually. It's almost a year old though. And it's a lot better than this one, so hopefully I'll have a better time talking about that one. So the final video I want to talk about in this video is a brief disagreement. Now, this is Steve Cuts' most recent video on the channel that he, has, Steve Cuts. And it's almost a year old, so something tells me that he took a while to make this. But anyway, this video is it's the best one so far. Man was probably the one I watched the most. Happiness was the one I had watched the least. Are You Lost in the World was the one I hated the most. But this one is the best. Don't get me wrong, it's not that good of a video. It's not even a good video at all. It's just 3 minutes of utter nonsense. But it's probably the stupidest video. So this video is kind of a more exaggerated, more cartoony version of Man, where it's it starts off way in the past, and then we slowly see it going through time, going from World War I, World War II, going into the 1950s and 60s, eventually going to what I presume is modern day. But why A Brief Disagreement works better is because not only is it not as slow, not as, boring, but also I can kind of tell what they're saying. The message in this video, however, is way stupider than man's. The message that I took away from this video is that while society and basically everything around us will continue to change and evolve, humans will always stay the same. And humans are shown in this video as barbaric kind of Neanderthals. Another thing that makes this video my favorite is the visual style. This video just looks really cool. That's kind of the best thing about this video. This video is also pretty funny. It's probably the only Steve Cutts video, apart from the Roger Rabbit video, that actually, kind of made me laugh. It's the most distinct video that he made. It's a really different style. But anyway, back to the, thing I'm talking about. The message of the video just makes no sense, really. So basically what I think he's saying is that, everything around us will change and evolve, but, we won't ourselves. So we'll stay barbaric. We'll stay, maniacs. We'll, kill each other for the most stupid reasons. And, I mean, it would be better if, it actually made more sense. I just, it didn't make sense, because, it was one single guy on Earth, and then at the end of the video, he was the final person on Earth. It made no sense there. Here, it makes even less sense, though. Why are there so many Neanderthals in it? And, why is, everyone, apart from 2 Neanderthals, I'm assuming the 2 from the start of the video, the only ones who are still alive? And it's really unclear, what Steve Cutts is trying to say. Is he trying to say that war will never stop happening? Is he trying to say that society will keep on crumbling until we all die? Steve Cutts needs to make his messages, more clear. With this video, I can at least see that he's trying to say something, although it's very minor. But it's, still not that good. It's just, a decent video, but the message, if it was better, probably would have been a really good video. And honestly, I really wish Steve Cutts would stop trying to make these really emotional, deep videos. They're good for, classrooms, but you'd basically be telling your students false information. Especially because I'm almost, 99% certain that Steve himself barely knows what he was talking about in these videos. Man is, 10 years old. Happiness is 5 years old. Are You Lost in the World Like Me, I think, is also 5 or 6 years old. Brief Disagreement is the most recent of these videos, being almost a year old. But I don't even know if Steve Cutts even makes videos anymore. He only makes, maybe 1 or 2 videos each 2 years or so. So, honestly, Steve, I respect you as a person, but please stop trying to make these deep and fulfilling animations. You just don't understand how to make a good message about society or how bleak people can be. Because it seems just so... No, it's not even good. I hope I don't get a lot of hate for this. I hope people who watch my channel don't, watch Steve Cutts a lot. Because this is a pretty long video, I think. I'm going to get a lot of hate for this video, probably. But, you know what? It's my opinion. Also, the reason why it's an audio only is because I'm feeling pretty sick right now. My head's really sore. So, yeah, so that's the video. If you want to talk about your opinion on Steve Cutts, just put it in the comments below, I guess. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I might do more reviews on different channels and videos later, considering I am considering ending EA KTTB, Evan and Kira to Brat soon to work on one-off shorts rather than Evan and Kier. I'll still use them as characters, I'll make a video later talking about it. But anyway, bye.